Hello everyone, I'm CHELVAN and I like MALAICHELVAN. This is my final year project. It is the pandemic reward-based tracking application which was given the title as COVID Tracer. I would like to thank my supervisor Dr. Haikal for assisting me throughout the final year project. The description of this project is it is a reward-based approach to contact tracing. The main motive of this project is to increase the level of awareness and interest to actively use the contact tracing application. As we all know, we got introduced to the MySajatra, which is the contact tracing application that is being used now. So the difference between MySajatra and this application is that this application gives rewards in the form of points to the users who are using it. So I've decided to focus on 5 problem statements. So the first one is lack of awareness of public regarding contact tracing application. So I believe the implementation of the point system would get more people to use the application as more people would start to know about the application. So the next is the writing down details in logbook. So this leads to people using the same pen when they're writing down their details, and it is unhygienic, and when people start queuing up, it creates a crowd outside the shops, and also it takes up time. So the third problem statement is that the misuse of personal details. When people write down their details in the logbook, they have complained that they have started receiving random text messages and calls from unknown numbers after visiting shops and all. So this leads to people writing down fake information when they're entering a shop and all, and this would make the contact tracing effort for the government very difficult, as the details that they have provided in the logbook are incorrect. And the last one is the hectic process to apply for the interstate travel. So now the current process to apply for the interstate travel is to go to the police station and apply for the interstate travel by filling up a form and providing the sufficient documents. So I've integrated a function in this application where, like, the user gets to fill up a form in the app itself and upload documents to support the application. So this is the flowchart for the proposed solution, where the user answers a set of questions to assess the risk percentage that the user possesses, and then the user is categorized into 3 different criteria, which is low risk, medium risk, and high risk. And then the user goes to the home page where he or she gets to use the functionalities of the application. So when the user goes to a shop or an occasion, the user can scan the QR code to check in, and then points are rewarded based on the check-in activity. User can also register his or her business or occasions and generate QR code to be used to be displayed at the entrance of the business premise or the occasions. And the registered business or occasions will have their QR code respectively. So the objectives of this project is to increase awareness and interest among public regarding the usage of contact tracing application during the current situation of the pandemic. So the second objective is to make contact tracing easier to contain the spread of the virus. Third is to ensure users adhere to the SOPs set by the government in relation to the traveling outdoors and staying indoors. And the last objective is to allow users to apply for interstate travel through the PDRM. So as you can see for the module diagram, this application consists of 6 modules, which are the feedback module, interstate module, self-assessment module, QR code module, points module, and tracking module. So for the feedback module is where the users are able to give feedback to the admin for maintenance purposes. The interstate module is where the user gets to apply for the interstate travel through the PDRM. The self-assessment module is to assess the risk percentage that the user possesses. The QR code module is to scan and generate QR code. The points module is where the user gets the rewards in the form of points. And tracking module is where the admin gets to view all the places visited by users. And for the architecture diagram, as you can see, the main database is used is Google Firebase, which is connected through the internet. And there's only 2 types of users. One is user and one more is admin. So only the admin gets access to the data. So for project implementation, I'll talk about risk assessment and the points structure. So for risk assessment, user is asked questions to decide the risk level that the user possesses. User has to answer truthfully. Based on answers, user is categorized into 3 different categories. The risk level is displayed at the home page, once the user has answered the questions, and the user can do the self-assessment anytime to assess their risk level, and once they answer again, the risk level is updated based on their latest answers. As for the points structure, the points are awarded based on the check-in activity of the user. As you can see, when the user visits 3 or more places in a day, the user is given 0 points, and when the user visits 2 places in a day, he or she is given 1 point. When the user visits only 1 place in a day, the user is given 2 points, and when the user does not visit any place in a time frame of 1 day, the user is given 3 points, and the points is displayed at the home page. So the outcomes or impact of this project is to encourage the public to adhere to the SOP by staying more at home, and also for the government to be able to do contact tracing, and also for the system to be able to carry out all capabilities of the system, such as sending feedback, applying for interstate travel, generating QR code, and scanning QR code. So in conclusion, COVID Tracer is a reward-based contact tracing application that would cater to the benefits of the public and the government to contain the spread of the pandemic. So the future work for this project is more modules can be integrated into the system, such as the vaccine module. We can also add the dependence list to assist those who do not own smartphones, and also the reimbursement of the point system that can be integrated in the future to make the points gained feasible. So that's all for my presentation. Next, I'll be showing the live demo of my application. So I'll be showing a live demo of my application now. So this is my application, COVID Tracer. So when the user enters into the application, he or she is asked to register their details to create their account. So when the user has filled up the details, they can click on register, and they are brought to the set of questions where the user has to answer to assess the risk level that the user possesses. So this set of questions is exactly the same as the one from MySejahtera. So when you have answered all the questions, the risk level is displayed, which is low risk. So when you click on done, it is brought to the home page where the risk level is shown, that is low risk, and the points is 0 because the user is new. So next up, we'll go to the register business function. So when the user has filled up the details to register his business, so the user can use to generate a QR code, which will be displayed at the entrance of the hardware store, and they can use the save to device button to save the QR code to their device to be printed out later on. And once they click on save details, the details is saved and they are brought back to the home page. So the function is the same for register occasions, where like if a person is organizing an occasion, he or she has to fill up all the details and then generate the QR code, which is to be displayed at the entrance of the occasion that they're organizing. So next up, I'll show the interstate travel application. So once the user has filled up the details for the interstate travel application, the user can choose to upload the supporting documents. So I'll just upload a PDF. So as you can see, it's uploading, and then once it is uploaded successfully, so the user can click on apply, and the application is sent, and the user has to wait for an email to be notified whether the application is successful or not. So next up, we'll go to the send feedback function, where they can fill up the details and then send feedback to the admin for the maintenance purposes. So for the risk assessment, as you can see, they can answer the questions again. So if we answer yes this time, and as you can see, the risk level is now high. Once you click on done, the risk level displayed at the home page is high risk now. And then we can choose to check in, the check-in function. So for the check-in function, we can click on the check-in button and scan QR code that is displayed. So once we check in, so as you can see, the place, time and date is displayed. So as we can go back to the home page, and once we click on places visited, we can see that they have visited the places as shown in the list. So for the last function, the user can choose to view their profile. So as you can see, the details that they have entered during the registration of their account is displayed here. So the user can choose to edit their details. So for example, if the user did not enter their full name, they can choose to enter their full name now. And then if they change the email, they can choose to change as well. And if they shift houses, they can update the address as well, and also when they change phone numbers. So once they click on done, the new details is displayed as their profile information. So next up, I'll be showing the demo for an existing user. So now we log in into the system as an existing user. So once we log in, the home page is displayed and all the functionalities are there displayed. The reason why this person has collected 27 points is based on the point structure that I've explained earlier. And next I'll be showing the database. As you can see, this is the database for the application. So the business is where the user registers his or her business, and all the details are stored here. This is for the feedback. This is for the interstate travel application. This is to register occasions. This is the risk level to show what kind of the risk level that the user possesses. And then the real-time database, it stores the information to store what are the visited places and the timing. So these are the details that are stored. And once you go to the storage, this is all the documents that we have uploaded for interstate travel purposes. So all the documents will be displayed here for the access of the PDRM. So that's all for the complete demo of my application and also the database. Thank you very much.